Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out the Adventure Cabin Backpack from CabinZero. After a great experience with the company's military 28-liter backpack, I was excited to have a chance to try out another option in their lineup that seemed to offer a little bit of a different aesthetic and layout, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, as the name implies, this has more of an outdoorsy and rugged vibe compared to some of CabinZero's more minimal travel bags. So you have the compression straps along the exterior, attachment points, but to me it doesn't feel overwhelmingly technical, and the silhouette also feels more modern. And so in general, it's still a versatile look that I think is going to work well in a lot of different situations, whether you're traveling or taking this into the outdoors. As far as the materials, the bag feels solidly built. The exterior fabric is a 500D ripstop nylon that feels like it's going to offer a nice amount of durability and weather resistance. A nice benefit of this fabric is also that the weight of the bag is pretty manageable, coming in at under 2 pounds. Beyond that, you have really solid components all throughout as far as the buckles, the straps, and of course some very smooth working YKK zippers. Continuing along the outside of the bag, on the front you have the CabinZero logo down here near the bottom. It's a little more prominent than what I typically like to see, but at least it's kind of down near the corner. And then you have a really nice carrying handle at the top. This is well reinforced. You have a nice amount of padding. You also have a great handle on the side. And you also have this interesting system that I mentioned in my review for the CabinZero military backpack, where you can actually activate this tag with a code online. And so if your bag is misplaced or lost and somebody finds it, they can enter this code on the website and they'll have a way to get in contact with you so that you can recover your bag. So it's a pretty cool idea. I haven't tried it out just yet, but nice that it's actually kind of part of this ecosystem that CabinZero has. And then on the exterior, you have compression straps, which are going to be great for attaching additional gear, tripods, jackets. They'll also be great for compressing the bag down. And I like that you have actual buckles on both sets of compression straps, which in my opinion just makes them a little bit easier to use. And then you have these D-rings here that you can use to attach additional gear, carabiner or something like that. This is where I will typically hang my hand sanitizer. And so 2 D-rings there, don't have them on the other side, but you do have a water bottle pocket here that has, again, similar to the military backpack, this expandable system. So it's got this snap closure so that when you're ready to use the water bottle, it'll give you that extra bit of space. So my 20-ounce water bottle was able to fit in here very comfortably. I think it could hold something a little bit larger, but as you can see, it's not the deepest pocket. And so, I think that you just want to be mindful of that in case you place your bag down. You don't want your water bottle to accidentally slide out. And then when it's not in use, you can snap it closed again to just maintain a cleaner overall look. And then the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the exterior is that this doesn't stand up super well on its own. Unfortunately, it does have a bit of a tendency to lean forward. So when I've placed this down next to me, I've usually had to lean it against a wall or a chair. Moving into the capacity, the bag is available in 2 sizes. The one that I have here is the 32-liter size, which is always a great kind of minimal travel bag and larger EDC size, particularly with the silhouette that this has. So it's going to be able to hold all the items that I would normally need for a longer day or for minimal travel. It is a little bit of a taller bag, and so I think that will allow it to work well in a lot of situations. I also like that it still manages to maintain a fairly slim profile, even though it comes in at that size. So it's still going to be, something that you can use for navigating crowded areas, jumping on a public transit. This is going to be a great carry-on bag for domestic and international airlines to place in the overhead storage compartment. I do think it's going to be a little bit too large as a personal item on the international airlines that are a little bit stricter. Domestically, potentially, but even there, with the height and the volume, it starts to feel like it could be a little close to the limits. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. I like how the straps have been implemented here. They have a nice amount of padding. It feels really comfortable and soft right out of the box. Plenty of support here On the inside, you also have plenty of breathability. You have this patterning here, nice material. The straps also have a good width to prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. And then at the top, you have the load lifters to allow you to really pull that weight closer to your back. You have some attachment points here that you can use to hang on some sunglasses, a light, and then an adjustable sternum strap. And on the back, you have that same style of padding that feels very, comfortable. It's distributed all throughout. It's going to offer plenty of support. And then again, with the patterning that's offered here, nice amount of breathability. I still typically prefer to see some sort of an air channel to give you that extra bit of ventilation. But in general, this has felt, really comfortable as I've been wearing it, even when it's been more loaded out. The last things I'll mention while we're on the back panel is that there isn't any way to add a waist belt, which to me isn't a big deal. I normally wouldn't use it with a bag of this size, but I know some people do like to have that option for this type of bag. And then there's also no luggage pass-through, which I think would have been a nice addition, as this still feels like the type of thing that some people might pair with a roller suitcase. Jumping into the organizational options, you have a couple of quick access pockets. First off, at the top, you have this really nice pocket here that's got the flap to come over the zippers to give you a little bit of protection. And then this is gonna just be a nice spot for those smaller items that you might be grabbing more regularly. So at the moment, I am storing my AirPods and a charging cable in here, as well as a headlamp. But this still offers a decent amount of volume. If I had wanted to place my sunglasses in here, I think they could have fit. But I have this compartment here below that, which is this tall compartment. You have a large zipper here, and then you have a decent amount of volume, so this can handle bulkier items like my sunglasses with their case. I was just able to toss it in here. And then I also have an alpaca admin pouch. And at the bottom, I have my USB-C hub along with the charging cables to, use with my laptop and tablet. And so really like the flexibility that's provided here. It's a simple compartment, no other internal organization. And so items, will start to slide to the bottom when you're actually wearing the bag. But, if you just want something to allow you to toss in a couple of different things, definitely gets the job done. And then moving into the main compartment, you have a zipper that goes down a good amount. It's not quite a full clamshell zipper, but it comes down enough to make it easy to pack the bag out. I also like this style of zipper because it allows you to use the bag either as a top loader if you just want to get something quickly, or open it all the way. And the main compartment zipper does lock. And if I wanted to just reach something near the top, I wouldn't loosen the compression straps. I could just kind of reach down, grab whatever I need, close it up quickly. And I'll just give a quick preview of the laptop sleeve. You can see that it's kind of buried down there near the bottom. This is always one of the challenges I have with bags that don't have a dedicated compartment, or at least a zipper to allow you to get to it, is that I kind of have to move everything out of the way to be able to get to the laptop. So we'll take a closer look at that in a second. I just wanted to show it while the bag was actually loaded. And then when you open the bag like this as a top loader, I like that there is a zipper compartment right here near the top. You have this mesh here so I can see what's on the inside. And at the moment, I'm just using this to store an international power adapter. And there's also a little lanyard with a clip where I just have a small pen. When you're ready to open the bag all the way, you can release the compression straps here, and then the zippers go down so that you have better visibility into the main compartment. While we have this lid open, you can see that there is another mesh zippered pocket and good amount of space here. I'm just using this to store a portable battery, and then you have some elastic bands in here that could work for pen or other accessories. I just have a pen there at the moment. So, again, nice sort of layout here. And then you have the large open space that is, very travel friendly. And so this is my standard minimal travel setup. Diving in, I have a toiletry bag near the top, and then I have an extra pair of shoes in a packing cube. I have the smaller compressible packing cube from Peak Design, and then I have the medium compressible packing cube. And all of those items fit in there very comfortably. It didn't feel like the bag was exploding. So, that's one of the nice things about layouts like these. They're simple, but they are very effective for this sort of use case. So super simple here, no other organization besides the zippered pockets that we saw on the lid. And then you have the laptop sleeve here on the back. And I like that you do have some padding because of the back panel. The sleeve itself isn't rigid. It is very much a slip pocket. And it's got this interesting angle here, which is part of what concerned me a little bit when I was trying to pull my laptop out while the bag was loaded. You kind of have to angle it out, particularly if you have a larger laptop. I just have a 14-inch MacBook, and so it's pretty easy to angle it and pull it out. If you have a 15 or 16 incher, I could see that being more challenging once the bag is loaded, but you know, very simple sleeve here, not a whole lot of protection on its own, which, you know, as someone who carries a laptop a lot, I always like to see a little bit more, but I'm happy that there's at least a place to separate out my device, and because of the flexibility here, you can add a case if you want to. And, you know, I think with bags like these, I definitely understand that many people don't always travel with a laptop and they'd rather not waste the additional weight or space in the main area or in the bag with something like a dedicated laptop sleeve. So, you know, this could work out well depending on the types of things that you're carrying. But if you want to take your laptop, you can slide it in, you can add a case, and if you don't want to bring one, then it kind of just stays out of the way, or you can use this to separate out other clothing, a notebook, or anything like that. And so I really like the space and the layout offered in this main area and throughout the rest of the bag. Although this one is a little bit more outdoorsy, it still, you know, does a great job as a travel backpack. And then it's cool that you have some of the additional kind of functionality, organization. And so if you're looking for, you know, something that's going to be durable, it's going to be a little lighter weight and still give you plenty of comfort, then I think this is going to be a cool option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, you can currently purchase this on CabinZero's site. I believe it's going to come in at around $140, $145, so definitely an investment, but to me, it feels like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and the build quality that it has to offer, and it's also going to compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is of course CabinZero's 28-liter military backpack, which I really enjoyed using. That's been a popular minimal travel bag and personal item option for a long time. I really like the more tactical vibe that offers. You have the ability to attach things on the exterior. And then beyond that, you just have a really solid build quality, super comfortable harness system. You have a spacious main compartment. The layout on that one's gonna be a little bit simpler, but you know, you still get a quick access pocket. You have a little bit of internal organization, and then the laptop sleeve on the back. So, you know, it's still a very effective bag, particularly if you're just looking for something that's gonna be able to hold a deceptive amount. And so if you like CabinZero's kind of quality, if you're looking for something at a pretty similar price point, that's gonna be a great option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Patagonia 32-liter black hole pack. That one has a very rugged and kind of outdoorsy vibe. You have webbing along the exterior to allow you to attach additional gear. You have some quick access pockets, a pretty well padded harness system, a luggage pass-through. You have a dedicated laptop compartment on that. It's got a top loading layout. So you have this spacious main compartment that can just, you know, hold a ton of stuff. And I like that the bag doesn't feel super big. So it kind of reminds me of this one a little bit. And then you have the dual external water bottle pockets. And so, you know, it's just been a very useful bag. It also comes in at a pretty reasonable weight. So if you're looking for something for traveling or walking around and you have a little bit of a higher budget, that's gonna be a great option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Osprey Daylight 26+6 expandable backpack. That continues to be one of the best values on the market in my opinion. You have a 26-liter bag that can work well as a personal item, as a daily bag, and then it can expand out to 32 liters if you need a little bit more space. It's got a pretty comfortable harness system, a luggage pass-through, dual external water bottle pockets. It's got a suitcase style opening for easy packing, so it's got more of a travel-friendly layout. You have a padded and suspended laptop sleeve inside of the main compartment, some good kind of quick access pockets. And so, you know, it's a simple and effective layout, and you know, it comes in at $100. So if you're looking for something, you know, at a good price, it's gonna offer a ton of flexibility, and that's gonna be one of the best options to keep in mind. With that being said, the Adventure Cabin Backpack holds up pretty well against all those options. And if you're looking for something that's gonna offer a solid build quality that's gonna be comfortable to wear, I think this is gonna be a really cool option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Adventure Cabin Backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular minimal travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank CabinZero for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.